Hey y'all, this is Dale's dad. And, you know, Dale's the one that's got the crazy concept car. Well, he got it from his dad, I think, because his dad's got a 37 Ford Street Rod. That's just awesome, man. And I met him over at the Shades, and again, they were so nice to meet me over here at their resort and let me shoot some video on these cars. So his name's Joe. Let me run him down and have him tell us a little bit about this Street Rod he's got. Joe, how are you, brother?
Hey, Scotty, I'm doing good. How about you?
Not too bad. Tell me a little bit about this hot rod you got.
Well, it's a little bit different in that there's many one-off features on this car. It's got a custom chassis. It's actually TCI built a chassis for us. Front to back, it's got independent, front end and independent suspension in the front. It's got power rack steering, quick ratio.
Is it a steel body or fiberglass body car?
No, it's fiberglass body. Actually, Tony Minotti built some molds. There's only, I believe, 2 of these bodies ever produced.
Wow.
Maybe 3, but I think 2. And we modified the body from its original status. Back to the chassis, though, we ended up with a 6.1 liter Chrysler New Generation Hemi and a Dodge 5-speed overdrive, electronic overdrive, automatic transmission, wheel-width disc brakes, bigger calipers and bigger rotors, and Curry rear end, Porsche front headlights, 911s.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And all the...
Those are late model ones too,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, they're kind of late. And then we had...
Well, the only reason I say that, it looks like it's got LED lights in the bottom of it.
It does, but that's the headlight rings that Greening Auto helped us finish this car. They're in Nashville, Tennessee, and they also worked on Dale's car quite a bit. They're an excellent build shop, and they have CNC machines, which helped us with all the moldings.
I love
all the
moldings,
headlight
man.
rings.
Yeah.
And Dan from Lumacraft built the grill, and it's a vertical grill, and most 37s have a horizontal grill. The mirrors are all hand built. They go right in the moldings, as you can see.
Right.
The wheels were one-off wheels. They were cut. They're 20s and 18s.
Now, how'd the car start? Did that boy down in Florida start drawing it, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do a lot of sketching, Scotty, and then we send the sketches to Eric Brockmeyer, but he doesn't really need a lot of our help, although we have a lot of good ideas, we feel. But and then he
Massages them.
massages our ideas. He does 3 or 4 brown lines. Brown lines meaning they're white and black. Get a little stance going, get a little look going, and then we may sketch a little bit, send it back to him, and before you know it, you got a colored rendering of a car that starts to look pretty good.
And that's your blueprint, really.
It's a blueprint, and it's a building module, but more than that, what kind of separates not only our cars, the best cars at these shows, and the best cars at Detroit, the best cars in the country, has a lot to do with the stance,
Right.
the overhaul look, how everything flows. If you can't get people walking up to your car to look at it because it's oh wow, this looks pretty good, you'll never get them to look at all the detail that's featured.
Look
in
at
the
it
car.
close. If they won't look at the big picture, they won't look at the little stuff.
They won't look at the little stuff if they don't look at the big stuff. And it takes a lot of energy, a lot of experience. Not that we have it all. We don't have all the experience. This is not our business. We hobby this stuff out, but it takes a lot of cooperative energy from some very good build sources.
It takes more than just money.
It takes, yes.
It takes plenty of that too, don't get me wrong.
Plenty of money.
But even if you've had a lot of money, if you pick the wrong people to spend that with, you're not going to end up with what you're looking for.
The important thing for all the young people and people that are older that maybe cannot take their car to another level is putting the money in the right places and proportioning the car the proper way. You can build a relatively not inexpensive. No cars are inexpensive, but you can build a car for not nearly the money that you would put in here and have a nice looking car, very nice looking stance, you know, a very operable car, and could be state of the art at a lower level, and people need help to get it there, and basically that's what we kind of do, because we competed so intensely indoors and outdoors. But the most important thing is the cars have to work, no matter how beautiful
Right.
we make the cars.
Got to be functional.
They got to be very functional. They
Right.
can't heat. They got to have good air
Right.
conditioning. You got to have good window seals, and they have good suspension. And the nicer the car, or the more intricate, or the farther you take them, the more dialing in you have to do.
Right.
And that's what we try and do.
Right. So you do some of the work yourself, but more than that, you manage the whole project all the way through.
We
Right.
do that.
Yeah.
And not that whoever we co-build with doesn't have their own great ideas, because they're very good builders. We kind of exchange ideas, and we try and come up with an end product that will be received by young, old,
Right.
females,
Right.
males,
Right.
and that's how you get the attention on the cars, and that's normally how you end up in.
Well, that car, speaking of stance, that car's got a very cool stance to
Well,
it.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
now
very much.
it's a beautiful car.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? I think you're right, because this is modeled after a much older car, early car, and yet I think that will appeal to people that are 18 years old, as well as people that are 70 years old.
Right.
You know, and no, beautiful. This isn't the same color as Dale's, but it's pretty close.
Well, Dale has a root beer, and this is a more of an in-between red and
I was going to say it's got a maroon cast to it. Yeah.
maroon cast. And
Can you open the door?
sure, and Glazeret helped us with the paint on this one, and we do many paint samples. We do, we do many paint samples. We do many door samples. We try very hard to get a contrast so they're different.
Right. I love the little Ford emblems in the seats. That's
Why,
a nice
thank you.
touch. Yeah.
It's got, if you take a real strong look at the dash, this is a wood look in the dash. It's a new process where it's not actually wood. It's done with one of our suppliers and one of Jesse Greenan's suppliers that can apply this finish that looks exactly like your newer Cadillacs, your newer modern SUVs or super sports, and it just adds a tremendous detail.
Well, and from the angle I'm looking at, it almost looks like it's black and it fades into wood, but it's just the angle that I'm looking at it. Yeah.
It's more of a
Try to
darker
get over here.
wood look.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
Oh, that's beautiful, and that's hand done.
it's hand done.
Right. Now, Bobby Ellaway did Street Rod of the Year with Miss Vicky, and it's got metal in it, but it looks like wood, and that was all hand done too.
Right.
Yeah.
And we know Bobby very well. We bought chassis from Bob, and Bob knows cars. He
Yeah, he
knows
does.
how to pick them, and he understands what's.
This car's won some awards too, though, eh?
Oh yeah, it's been doing real well. It's got all the pros picks. It's got all the builder picks, and it's also it's in the top 5 at Columbus. Which is
Oh, that's
very,
hard to do, yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard. And actually, Bobby's sedan there won the Street Rod of the Year, and hopefully will compete in that at this show, Street Rod of the Year.
I love that third brake light. That's
Right.
LEDs, yeah.
Why, thank you. Everything
Yeah.
is LED.
Oh yeah,
Everything is-
taillights too.
And everything is CNC cut. And actually, we got that idea from my wife has a Maserati convertible, and
Right.
see, this is how you take a transition with some type of an, not a prototype car, but the higher end. The difference is that you can do taking modern technology and putting them into older cars,
Right.
into older styles.
That's actually taking the street rod concept all the way to the top,
Yeah.
because that's what it's about.
Right.
Is making an old car with modern amenities,
Right.
and you take the higher end, the best of the best, and incorporate those in your
Right.
street rods. Yeah, very good idea. And I love that molding, man.
Oh, the moldings
that's beautiful.
are all
That sets
aluminum.
off, man.
We didn't build these moldings. We have. We used to do them out of copper, and now they're doing them out of aluminum. And Jesse formed all these. Jesse Greening and his staff formed all these moldings. And
They almost look like it's one piece all the way around the back, is it?
yeah, well, they sell them in links.
Okay. So it separates by the license
It separates by the license plate.
plate. Okay. Can you open this door?
Sure.
Is it sitting on bags?
No,
No. That's nice, man.
it's on coil over.
Yeah.
And he cut the steering wheel. Everything is, and all the
Awesome.
gauge work.
Oh, beautiful gauges,
So,
man.
thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, most definitely. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hit this out of the park too, man.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody that was involved. Let me not give you all the credit for it, but I guess you got the ball rolling.
Yeah.
And in projects like this, the bottom line is that the client's got the final say.
Right.
So, you know, can we see under the hood?
Sure.
And I love the satin finish on the rotors down there.
Why, thank you.
That's beautiful, man. See, those just little details, little touches, right? That you know, unless you really study it, you don't see it.
If you do enough Detroit Autorama stuff and you try and win there, the big one, I mean the very, very big, compete against Chip Foose and everybody, you learn a detail is so extraordinary.
King. It's everything.
king.
Because there's so many top-notch hot rods there, right? That you somehow gotta turn their head when the room's full of beautiful women. You gotta figure out how to have one just that much beautifuler, you know.
Right.
And what motor are you running?
This is a 6.1 liter,
that's right.
a new gen Hemi.
Hemi.
And people say, well, you do that in the Ford, maybe it'll turn things off, but not in this case. We have the 5-speed automatic overdrive. It's electronic. This has an aftermarket Chrysler computer, and actually when we wired it and fired it, we haven't even had to laptop it. It runs beautiful, runs cool, it doesn't heat, it shifts well, and this car, you can drive it down the highway. We have a 373 Curry rear end in it. You could drive this car down the highway as fast as
You want.
you want.
Well, let me give you kudos because you didn't put an LS motor in it, and that would have been the natural thing to do. And as a matter of fact, you know, the thing is you took a Ford and put a Hemi in it, which is, you know, the whole internet's going to be buzzing about that.
Right.
Because, like I said, the natural thing would be to put an LS motor in it.
Right.
You know, boy, if you didn't do that, then put a Ford in a Ford. But no, you went with a Hemi in a Ford. How cool of an idea is that?
Yeah. And it's not a big Hemi. You know, it's big enough
That's a 6.1.
displacement.
Yeah.
6.1. It's 425 from the factory, but it's plenty of horsepower. Car weighs 2,700 pounds. You can if you wish,
Right.
step on the gas. It's a drive-by-wire.
Right.
You step on the gas a little bit hard, you can smoke some tires, or you can drive away in traffic. And I've had 120,
Yeah.
and it didn't want to lift
Right.
from the air, from under these big fenders.
Right.
And probably if you could keep the air from the mass of air from picking the car up a little bit and not
Make it
allowing
light.
it to handle,
Yeah.
it would probably run 180 miles an hour based
Yeah.
on the gear ratio, and it's got a great stereo in it.
Right.
It's,
Well, the only stereo we want to hear it start. Can we hear it start?
oh, sure.
Yeah. Right. We don't care anything about music on my channel.
We don't really.
Music is that Hemi up underneath the hood. Sounds good. It's mild, but it sounds good. Got a nice drawl to it. That's good. And folks, you got to know the underneath is finished as well as the top. You can kind of see that through that wheel right there. You got the trunk full of stuff, or is it? Can you look at that?
I can do that. In fact, I got the remote. Everything's remote.
Sure.
This car.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah. It's got gas shocks.
Yeah, nice.
Step out. Take a quick look.
Nice job. Yeah.
Thank you.
Who'd you say did the interior for you?
Well, actually, Jesse Greening did the entire trim in the whole car and the inner panels that take the trim. And then M&M Upholstery did the seats. Normally M&M with Greening does our cars, and they do the total car, but we run out of time. And Jesse Greening, his build shop is so talented, and they're not known as trim.
Right.
But when he started his career, he started in a trim shop, so he could help out when we run out of time.
Right. In a pinch,
In a pinch.
he could help you. Man, and I love how those inner doors are molded. I don't know if that's how the body already came or if you all finished that.
No.
But that's, you know what I'm saying? It's all smooth in there.
Yeah,
That's
we did all
beautiful,
that.
man. Yeah, I figured you did. Man.
And the fact is, it's a 5-window, quarter glass, and all air conditioned and stuff.
Right.
It's a cool car to drive.
Now
The lights are blue lens. It's kind of remarkable, and everything else is LED.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you gonna roll the dice and run this through Barrett Jackson too?
I don't know yet
No, don't
because
do that.
we build and we we play with cars. I just don't want 10 of them anymore or 12 of them. When,
Right.
At the end of the day,
You can only drive one.
and I don't want my wife to get stuck with a bunch of supercars.
You're not going nowhere, are you?
Never know.
You don't never know. You're right. Today could be our last day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
no
and
doubt about
so
that, brother.
I
We're not
say,
promised tomorrow, that's for
That's
sure.
right.
Man, Joe, let me tell you, brother. Beautiful job.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Folks, there you go. Close it up and let me do a quick walk around on it if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
I love them wheels too, man. The I don't know, what is that, white or is that stainless in the middle of those?
No,
those
it's a silver satin.
silver satin. Yeah. Awesome, man. Y'all do a nice job on your cars, man.
Thank you.
And I think a lot of people, they look at cars of this level and they think to themselves, well, it's a rich guy that's got this fancy car, no deal. But let me tell you what, I am so happy you decided to invest your money in a street rod over bottles of wine or stocks in the stock market, because neither one of those impressed me. Okay.
No, I got out of the stock market.
I'm glad.
We had some large manufacturing companies, and we were fortunate to sell them in '98 when the market was well.
Yeah.
But the companies were well received, well run, and this isn't about the companies; it's about cars. But we've done this since I was 13 years old, and I introduced it to my boys. We did street rods for many years and started doing muscle. And our point was I could do stuff with my sons and their families and enjoy some family fun. And yes, we're fortunate enough to have a couple extra dollars to do some of the things
Right.
that other people maybe were reluctant to do or didn't have the funds to do it. But with that all ending, I can say this. I encourage every young person. I help them, they call me, I give them advice, and we don't build for other people, but you can put a small block Chevy in a car, you can do them very reasonable, and if you set them up right, they'll get a lot of attention.
Right.
For not so much money.
Right. Yeah, I got you.
Got it?
Yeah. No, I understand. No. Yeah, and I hope you didn't take offense to that, brother, because
No,
I just want to really thank you, because like I said, to me, I got the best job in the whole industry, because I get to enjoy all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. The thing is, I think a lot of people too don't understand what it is that we enjoy. They don't understand our hobby.
Right.
But if they came to a car show and they sat in a lounge chair and they had the camaraderie of hanging out with people, and it doesn't matter, rich, poor, doesn't matter. You got a rat rod, you got a high-end street rod, doesn't matter.
We try and encourage, and we're humble. We're humble with our blessings. Let me see.
Yeah. No, y'all, you know, I'm blessed that y'all gave me the time, but you know, I get to meet people like you, and I'm just very fortunate in that way, you know, because like I said, that is the thing about, for the most part. There's some people out there that got egos in the hot rod world, don't get me wrong. Yeah, but for the most part, it's about the cars, you know what I'm saying? It's not about so much about the money, it's about the cars. So, Joe, let me tell you, brother, home run, man.
Thank you.
You make sure if you decide to do something else, you let me know about it.
I will.
Thanks so much. Folks, there you go. You say that's a 37, right? 37. That's Joe's 37 Ford Street Rod. It's a beautiful car. Hope you all have enjoyed it. I sure enjoyed talking to him and bringing it to you. Y'all have a good day. See ya.